What do you have any other suggestions on top of all this in regards to how not to get swindled, I guess?
Well, there's a couple of things well, at least two things that I can throw out there. Number one, and I feel like artists are terrible at this. And I know I
Yeah.
am. I'm not gonna assume that all artists, well, I am. I'm just gonna do it. I assume that all artists are equally as terrible as I am at this. Sit down, assign yourself a personal project, clock the goddamn hours it
Yeah.
takes for you to start and finish that entire project. Keep track. Literally write down on a fucking pad. Started at 1 p.m. on Tuesday the 25th. Boom. Stopped at lunch. Ba 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 ba. Started. Ba ba ba. Keep a fucking tab of every second it took you to do it. Look at how many hours it actually took. Because one of the things that I always did is I undercut myself. Be like, oh yeah, that's about 2 or 3 hours of editing. No, it was like 7. Like that adds up. It sounds like it's just okay, you were off by a little bit. No, and over the course of several projects, that adds up. So literally clock yourself, and
Yep.
that way you, like you said, you build that idea. So you don't necessarily have to eat it. You could be building portfolio pieces or just training yourself on how to do new techniques of whatever it is that you're doing, but clock yourself, literally clock yourself. And then, bare minimum, look at it in terms of, say, okay, minimum wage is $15 or whatever now.
Yeah.
Times it by that. And then we talked about building it in. Assume that you're not going to get another project.
Yes.
The way that I go about it, or at least that I did when I first started trying to figure out my rate, I looked at it as, okay, my bills are monthly. I get charged every month. So if I only have one project, it has to cover everything for the entire month. And that's kind of how I did it. And that did jack up my rate incredibly high. Um, but when you find someone willing to pay it, then you're set for the month. And then you can go out and hustle and try and find more clients and this and that, or they come back or are happy or whatever. But
Yeah.
your bills are paid for that month. Number two, and this is something I've recently stumbled upon. It's a little low down and dirty, kind of schemy way of doing it, but there's not anything really wrong with it. Um, I find people in the realm of which I'm planning to work, and
Yeah.
I act as if I have a project that I want them to do, and I ask for their rate.
That's
And then
actually really brilliant. I
I
like
get a
that.
summation of the rates, and I kind of look at it and I'm like, I do like an average. I drop the high, I drop the low, and then I go in
Yeah.
there and I'm like, okay, that's what the going rate is at the moment. I can ask for something like that, or if I'm living comfortably and I've got a little nest egg or something, maybe I undercut a little bit because I would rather build the client base than
Yep.
make a ton of money at the moment. It really depends on your living circumstances. Most artists are eating paycheck to paycheck if they're eating at all.
Yeah.
But the idea is kind of go into your wheelhouse and reach out to clients. An easy way to do it, and this is a stupid way on how I found out about this. I was on Instagram, and I like one of the things that I've really been getting into lately, alternative movie posters. So there's these fantastic illustrators who are doing these beautiful pieces for
Yeah.
old movies. And some of them are Struzen-esque, but a lot of them kind of deviate from the tried and true, done to death Drew Struzan mountain of heads,
Yeah.
and I'm loving it. So there's tons of them, and this one poster posted a poster for The Dark Knight. Okay, and it was Heath Ledger's Joker from the end of the movie, and he was falling, like when Batman throws him off the side of the ledge, and he's falling towards the viewer of the poster, and his jacket is spread out in a way that it forms the Dark Knight Batman logo, and I was like,
Okay.
that's fucking great. I liked it. And you know how Instagram's algorithms work. You like something with a certain hashtag, and then it suggests other things to you in your timeline. Thrift shop post shows up of The Dark Knight, and it's a Heath Ledger Joker T-shirt. And I'm looking at it and I'm like, I have that t-shirt. And I look at the thing and it says, we're selling this t-shirt for $1,500. I'm like, that's a goddamn movie t-shirt for $1,500? Are you out of your fucking minds?
Wow.
So I go on eBay and I messaged and I'm thinking to myself, and I dug it out. I had two of the same shirt, two of them. And they're too big for me because I got them when I was fat. It was two XLs. So I'm not wearing those shirts anymore. I'm down to a medium. So obviously, I'm either going to collect that and keep it in pristine condition, or I'm going to sell it. So I just messaged the guy instead of saying, "Hey, I have two shirts. What would you give me for them?" I know he's going to low cut me because he wants to make a profit off of it and this and that.
Yeah.
So I acted as a buyer and said to him, "Hey, how come that shirt costs $1,500? I'm just curious." And he gave me a whole bunch of nonsense about why it's so rare and this and that. And then he was thinking I was going to buy it. He's like, "Well, would you like to make me an offer?" And I said, "Well, I have two of them." And then as soon as I started talking to him about that, he was like, "Well, it really just goes by the last rate of the shirt. The last time that shirt sold, it sold for about $1,700. So now I'm selling it for $1,500. But you really got to find someone who's willing to pay that for it for it to really be the price." And I'm like, "You just tried to sell me that shirt for
Yeah.
$1,500. Don't try and undercut yourself now." But the lesson that I took from that was I could talk to somebody who's already doing what I think I might do and kind of get a justification for why I'm going to do something. So even if you're not just looking for the money, if you're looking to get into a particular field, maybe reach out to a director or a writer or whoever it may be. Not just ask about their rate or whatever like that, but also ask them what comes along with that rate. What do I get?
Yeah.
And then you start realizing the things that can fall into your arsenal as add-ons. So a good way to do it is to have a really low base price, and then you can have additional add-ons. So in the film world, I can come on and be a cinematographer for your movie for $700 a day, or you can get me for $950, and I'll bring my kit. I'll bring my camera, my tripod, this and that, and you don't have to
Mm.
pay a shit ton of money that comes with renting all that, the rental insurance, yada yada yada. I get a
Yeah.
little bit of a boost. My camera's already paid off. I'm making money off of that. So there's ways to kind of attribute yourself. So like when I was doing the Fiverr thing, I was doing that very thing. I was doing, okay, 10 to 12 page script. Do you want rewrites? That's an extra so and so money. You want an extra 10
Yeah.
pages? That's extra money. You want me to write a sequel to this? That's extra money. Do you want a ghostwriter credit? AKA, I would forfeit my name to the script and you could take it and credit it to yourself. That costs this much money. And that way it's nickel and diming, yes. But
Mm.
the way I understood it, and this is a lesson I learned when I worked at Dairy Queen, uh, sprinkles cost extra, and people used to
Yeah.
complain about it. They were like, "Well, why do the sprinkles cost extra?" And it's like, well, actually, if you're just getting a vanilla cone, it's cheaper now. We're not making everybody pay for the sprinkles, and not
Right.
everybody's getting it. So
Right.
it's cheaper that way. So that's what you can justify it that way. But there's all kinds of different ways that you can do it, and I don't think you should feel bad about the way you structure your monetization because all artists, I don't think, yes, the dream is to sell that multi-million dollar idea, concept, franchise, whatever it may be, and just be done with everything.
Right.
But I think most artists are just trying to eat. We just want to
Yeah.
wake up,
Exactly.
do the art, get paid, and go to sleep. And like
Yeah.
that's it. We don't want to have to stress about paying the bill. So don't feel bad about it. Don't feel bad about asking the money. Bring up money all the time. Be upfront about it. Negotiate, like you said, negotiate. Talk about it. Be comfortable with it.